I've never been to a city council meeting before.
So good.
Yes, we have.
Mayor votes.
Trying to stay cool.
Yeah. I thought you go to meeting to meeting, just hoping they have better AC than you have.
That was probably, well, I hardly ever have a stable play. Here.
Yeah.
But I just actually.
Just pick it on.
Thank God. It's good. Let it breathe.
When we get one of the, might be involved over here.
Yeah.
Can I take a picture of it on water? This trend.
Yeah.
Are those minutes, 2023?
Yeah, we're playing cleanup. We found, when they did an audit of last year's minutes, we found some that were not correct council, so we're just trying to get.
Okay.
We're actually gonna do a point where we can start getting caught up on stuff, which is nice. It shows how much progress the ladies have been making downstairs. The very definition of us.
Did I understand whether he's coming this evening? Is Aaron coming this evening?
I have not heard, but he's pretty busy doing stuff. Some very committed individuals.
And they should be good.
We have a lot of weird.
Yeah.
You realize that Christmas is only 6 months from today?
You know what, I just said that.
Don, you voted you in.
Just thought I'd share.
Oh, yeah. Sharing is caring. Sharing is daring.
Tomorrow, 6 months, today's the 24th. Christmas Eve, Dawn, like we're talking about Christmas Eve, Dawn, today's the 24th, not the 25th.
Well, Christmas Eve then is 6 months from now. Excuse me.
So
But we stay here long enough, it could be.
that's true.
Well, we have 6 months worth of shopping days left of Christmas.
It's been a while.
That's right.
We have time to get long then.
I do.
I think it's yours.
Awesome.
Okay, are we ready?
You got this?
Okay. Meeting of the City of Woodward to order, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Well, bear with me, it's my first council meeting that I've ever led. So a couple housekeeping things, if you have not signed in at the podium, you still have time to do so. Please do that before you leave. If you have to take a phone call, we ask that you step outside. Phones are to be silenced during council meetings. Also, if you feel the need to have a side conversation, please do so outside of council chambers so it's not disruptive for everyone else. Thank you very much. Okay, well, I would entertain a motion for consent agenda. With what to look at?
Like until.
Yeah, I'm not sure those minutes from 2023, if there would be.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're just housekeeping, getting caught up and making sure.
Patrick, do I have a vote tonight?
General vote.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's a good question. Yeah, I assume so.
I just can't make a motion.
You can't veto anything that you. I think that's right. I'm sorry, I had thought about.
I mean, Dan is on, and he's just on Zoom, so he's more.
Yeah. I mean, you're not the mayor, you're the president of the meeting, so you just have the president running a meeting powers, which means you can't do a veto, but you can do a vote.
Well, as far as I can tell, I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Mariana, do you know, were there any water donation requests?
There is one, and it just came for an infection until the 28th, so this Friday.
So, and that's something that you guys can do internally, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna do them all at once.
I'll second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda items, including water sewer terminations, the approval of the June 10th regular meeting and public hearing meeting minutes, the approval of the June 19th special meeting minutes, and approval of special meeting minutes from March 2023, March 30th, 2023, May 25th, 2023, and March 18th. By Don, second by Tyler. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Done. Okay, moving on to petitions and delegations. So just a reminder that you have 5 minutes to stand up and talk. We just ask that you introduce yourself, where you live, not your address. And again, 5 minutes.
Walker. Yeah. I'm the resident. I'm here representing Divine Home Church. And I'm sure that you're aware that the city is replacing the curb and gutter on the south side of the church. We really appreciate that because it's been a problem for some of the people that are handicapped getting in and out of cars and stuff like that. Visiting with Kyler as they were talking about doing the work, he said they wanted to replace the sidewalk at the same time. And the city wasn't going to pay for that. I wanted to know if we would be willing to do that. And then we discussed that and decided that we could. It's a little bit of expense for a plan, but we do have enough funds to do that. Purpose I'm here today is to see if you will waive the cost of the building permit. We've done everything else and made agreements saying that. And I think the building permit's $90, 90 and a little bit. It's not a big deal, almost embarrassed to ask. Because I'm thankful that y'all replacing it.
I make a motion that we waive the building permit because you're working very well with the city on this project.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by Dawn, seconded by Darcy. Sorry. The last name.
No.
Seconded by Darcy to waive the building permit for the Divine Hope Church as they replace the sidewalk. And was the sidewalk, is that on Douglas? Or is it- So replace the sidewalk on First Street. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
There's your Christmas present. Got you back, didn't I?
All right, anybody else for petitions and delegations? Good. All right, let's move on to unfinished business. So the consideration of resolution number 2024-8, amending resolution number 2024-12, declaring a water warning. Take it away.
Thank you, Jessica. Ron, if you want to come up here. I'm inviting Ron to come help me. I have 2 resolutions here. One is with Ron getting the approval to plant the soccer field at his generalized as rec facilities. The other one is without the exception. Ron, if you want to go ahead and talk about your findings on the turf.
Yeah, I reached out to 3 different companies and I talked to each one of them, but only one came out for a visit. But just kind of he was supposed to give me some more concrete numbers, but his initial assessment was, don't fall out of chair, but it was about $750,000.
Oh, gee.
For this stuff.
Yeah.
Right there in front of me, right?
So
That's just, think about just a little bit at the elementary school, that was
Right.
80,000. How much was that? 80.
And you said it was 750,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I also included with the numbers, I asked David Buchholz to compile numbers for the condition of our wells. And I also included that in there as well. The wells do mimic what's happening in the river. Because the river is lower, that means the water tables are lower. That means the availability of water. The downside of that on the technical side is that it burns it pumps faster because it's under capacity. But it's not to the point where, it's a state of emergency yet, but it's just, it is low and I want to keep the awareness there. But all the resolutions include everything else that you've directed us to this point. Splash pad is exempt, golf course is exempt, area businesses such as car washes and lawn mats. Or water, I made sure to specify that in these, and like I said, the rec facilities is the latest consideration. Proceed.
I think we should water the grass, give the grass plant. We ain't gonna come up with 750
Right.
grand every day.
Right, yeah.
And then if the state comes in and says, hey, then we go from there.
Yeah, we've already got the state purchase, correct?
Yeah.
So we have that major expense done.
And the pool, obviously, you're not filling that up very often, are you, Ron? You're having.
well, I mean,
With that,
maybe every 2 or 3 days, I mean, we have to put some water in there. It's below the tile.
Right,
So, but
right.
that's all that happens every year, so.
So the state doesn't have anything mandatory yet, it's all volunteer.
The only thing that the state is restricting is the stuff we have junior rates on, I think it's well 8.
Okay,
So we've pretty much taken out commission, but
okay,
outside of that, all the others also.
okay.
So have you noticed, are people decreasing the water they're using?
I'd have to get a current usage. I don't have that at the current time.
It looks like to me when you drive around, people's doing the odd and even days, that's the main thing. That's all we're asking right now.
And I did reach, like I've been saying in my emails and talking to you, I did reach out to the Stockton Water Office and they did forward my request on your behalf to the chief engineer. So this is not anything yet. I did get a survey, well survey in my box recently. I don't know if that's initiated by them or not.
So the only thing that would snap through the proceeds of doing this, if the state comes out with some mandatory water, when then we'd have to cancel the program or cancel the water. I would look at. So I think as long as we're not on a mandatory and we're on voluntary along with the people, I think we can do it.
I'll just keep in mind politically the critics. Some of them view it as a double standard. So as long as you're willing to accept that.
But there again, they're doing it on their even days and odd days, so they're going along with this,
Okay.
and we're not. I guess,
They can come here, they can talk. That's my opinion.
we didn't do it, and you're gonna have the other side saying that we did do it. So we'll do it optimize and do it, man, it's certainly, we know,
Oh, no.
Every few hours, depends on how hot it is.
as long as we can try to conserve and keep.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. I think that's the best we can ask.
For sure.
Okay.
And are we still doing the splash pad, like it slows down when it's super windy?
Yes. And when the chemicals, the heat messes with the chemicals, so a lot of times we have to wait for it to balance out. Because it'll shut down when the chemicals up, right? That's kind of the current challenge.
Okay, well, I will make a motion that we approve resolution 2024-12 A, version A.
Yep.
Water restriction. Water.
Yep.
It's been motioned by Tyler, seconded by Darcy to approve resolution number 2024-12A, amending the resolution declaring a water warning. Although, any discussion on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a couple, with your permission. Just a couple of admin notes. I did have to, on both of these versions, I did have to correct the city code reference. And like I said, I did add the splash pad and area businesses as discussed in the previous meeting.
And that also includes the armory.
Yeah, I put where water is their primary source of income. Are exempt from these restrictions.
Any other comments?
I don't.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Aye. Motion passed.
Safe travels.
Okay, moving on to new business, the approval of reorganization for public works management, the creation of position and dissolution of superintendent.
Thank you, Jessica. And like I've been doing the last year and a half, I'm trying to look over departments to see how I can make them better as well as compete in the job market. With the current, I haven't really gone after this too hard, but the current requirements or the current pay and requirements that just a water superintendent, I have beat that requests, like police chief, I'm still getting applications. So. The water superintendent has been there for a while, so when I was talking to some of the colleagues, a lot of cities go to its public works director. And there's a lot of advantages I like about that option. One, it unifies the streets and water and spirit under one condition. It also makes it easier for me to pass information down to both departments, because right now I'm meeting with both of them individually. It also helps me with planning. It also allows me to combine the department's top end budget. There's a lot of things that I can see as advantages, and it also takes the admin weight off the foreman, so they can be out there with the staff, while the superintendent helps me plan, do the budget, and all of that stuff. And it's also that, and the most important thing is it allows me some capital to try to go after some qualified people to help me with the water sewer department and the streets. Troy's got pretty much the streets taken care of, but I've got some candidates that I would like to go after for the water sewer department and also fill in the street, add in the streets.
One question, will they be a working supervisor? Will they be like in the hole working with the guys? Will they be on the streets working with the guys? Or will they be in an office?
Well, the expectation is that they'll do both, but that's why I have foreman. So the foreman will be the general ones leading the charge on the ground when he's over there overseeing it, he or she. But I also have the expectation that they know how to operate equipment and show people how to do things at the CDO. Have at least a level 3 water sewer certifications as part of the role.
So this would make it easier for the city to share the water department and street department on different projects too then, right?
That is correct. Yes.
So it'll be kind of just, it'll all be public works instead of working the street or I work for the water. So I've been thinking we needed to do that.
Yeah, because
You know, it's.
well, that's the street department. We don't need to. Do
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
But would you, scenario wise, Troy is not gonna be without a job?
no. Troy is the one who would help me initiate this. He does not have any interest in becoming superintendent. I even asked him after some concerns were raised, just to be like, hey, some members of council are concerned that I'm phasing you out. And he's like, no, I never felt that at all. I'm actually looking forward to this, because he actually is one of those people that likes to be on the ground, doing the work, showing the guys. He doesn't like the admin size. So he was really happy. And I've also talked to the water sewer department. I mean, they've been very good at working under the conditions and they've learned a lot. Most of them, I have two more that I'm gonna have to talk to about giving credit for their certifications. They've been working really hard. I feel like I've reached a plateau with them. They need someone full-time who can help continue to develop them as water sewer technicians.
So this supervisor be licensed in both then?
Yep.
So then like if you're the street, when they combine, are they gonna all get trained on how to like run the sewer lifts and be on call and start splitting that up to where not two guys have to be on call every, 2 weeks?
I've solved that problem already.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, so I got tired of calling all of them out at the same time. So what I've done is a duty roster that I send to the prison, send to the dispatch, where I've got 2 people every week. And that's the only 2 people on call. The other 3 have day off. And I don't bother them again for 2 or 3 weeks. That's worked really well. That's been one of my successes, managing that department.
So you need just permission to proceed?
Dan's got a question.
Dan,
Oh,
Hey, Dustin, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
yes, sir.
All right. My only question is, does the superintendent from a city or corporate, are they the same rank as the chief of police, city clerk, that level, or are you kind of creating a new level?
No, it's a department head.
Okay.
So require your appointment and council's.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, really, we don't have a street superintendent now or water, so it's not like, the money wise would be probably saving money. We might
Yes.
get one guy to do
Good
both.
job.
okay, so do you need permission to proceed or do you need a motion?
Well, this is gonna be a multi-step process. If we decide to do this, the first thing is, do I have permission to start interviewing? And kind of, we can do it as similar as how we did it before with, having, if you want me to do it with the council member, I don't mind. And then just submit our recommendations to the mayor, requesting to go after some people to get to start the process. But it's gonna be a multi-step process. Patrick and I are gonna have to go through the entire ordinance and shift everything from superintendent to public works.
It should be just renaming things and just going through the statute and making sure that in 4 years, if you do this in 4 years, there's not references to a position that isn't existing. It's doable work.
Do other cities that you work with have this position?
I see it sometimes like this and in counties and cities, this is kind of yes.
You
It's
see-
not a have to, and it's one of those things like pros and cons to everything, but it's not, it would be the place in the world that does it by any stretch.
So I guess we need to say, yes, we're gonna get your permission to proceed.
Yeah, the specifically financial, the pay band, I would be taking the pay band that was originally approved by council and streets department. And the pay band originally approved for the superintendent. I'm actually using the chunk portion of
And we need a motion on that, Patrick.
I think you should have a motion to go forward so that Dustin will, he's gonna invest time and energy and possibly bring people in, so he wants to make sure this plan's approved before he does things. And then we'll bring back to hiring people, appointments, and then we'll bring back ordinance changes, those kind of things.
So how will this look for our budget? Like, will we combine the 2 budgets and then we just have like one public works budget? So if we approve it tonight, will that go into effect for next year?
because streets is still funded by tax revenue, I have to keep it accounting wise separately.
Okay,
But it would be one public works umbrella. So the paycheck of the superintendent, 50% would come out of streets budget, which is tax, and then 50%, which would be split 25% between the water and sewer funds, would pay the
okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to proceed reorganization of the city infrastructure management structure, which includes dissolving current streets superintendent and water superintendent positions and creating a new public works director. Public work director will oversee both streets and water divisions, with each having one foreman support the director. The pay band for the public works director will be set between 75 to 90,000.
Which is actually much less than 2.5. So.
Okay.
Dawn made a motion and Tyler seconded it to approve the reorganization of the city's infrastructure, basically to create public works with a pay band of 75,000 to 90,000 and a foreman for both the streets and the water sewer division. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Okay, moving on to review and approval of MOU for third-party inspection services.
You waiting on me?
I'm guessing that's a you thing.
All right. The city of Salina reached out to the city of Ellsworth, asking for third-party inspection services from our building inspector, Delvin. They got a grant from FHL Bank grant, and they've got 44 homes that they need to have inspected periodically over the next 3.5 years. When I talked to Patrick about it, and Delvin, we all felt like it was a pretty good idea. So I wrote an MOU with Patrick's approval and updates, of course. Setting the price at $150 per Delvin's paying, that'll cover the cost of gas this time. As part of the MOU, but we thought it'd be a good collaboration between the cities. With our,
Is that some kind of grant we could get too, or?
yes, eventually. That's the first time hearing that grant, so I'll be definitely picking the brain for sure during this process.
I mean, yeah, it's, you guys, if he's got time to go do it, why not?
That would be my thing, if it's not taking away from his duties here.
That's something that we did add in the memorandum of understanding. That was actually thanks to Patrick pointing that out to us. So we sure.
But obviously it takes time, but what we made sure was that we get to control the timing so that it's not convenient for us to get to set the schedule.
And they were good with all that.
Well, they're currently looking it over, but.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't sound too bad.
I like the notoriety and the collaboration and partnership. That's the parts that I really like about it.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the city council approve the memorandum of understanding between the city of Ellsworth and the city of Salina for the provision of third-party inspection services by our building inspector, Delvin Benbrook.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Darcy, seconded by Tyler to approve the MOU for third-party inspection services. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Okay, is that it for unfinished business and new business?
That's all.
Okay, well, I think all of our department is left, so. City attorney, anything to report on? You'd like to share?
I can't think of anything.
Mary Ellen?
Everything was enclosed in my second and page.
All right, city council, info.
Just, I had somebody call and complain about the old hospital, the ground, how tall it is up there. So they just wanted to know when that was gonna be taken care of.
Is that a steep thing, just we call the owners and.
Yeah, although we did get that we may have to build because they said they told us in passing.
But they just said it's pretty tall.
Yeah, it's, and I think Steve's already doing it, but we're just not confident that the owners are gonna do anything, so we may have to do it.
Darcy, anything else? John?
I have a couple things. Mary brought it up the last meeting, and Lynn, I've had three other people bring it up. One, and I drove out to the armory today. There's actually not a good access on the ADA out there. So there's no place where to pull a van up and use a wheelchair to get in. And the concrete is broken up, going up to the main pad. And we need to check, see what it costs for a pad there, for a van to pull up on for parking, handicap parking, and unload somebody with a wheelchair. Because right now, you've got to go across gravel, then the dip, all the concrete. So that's something we should look at.
We'd also need to install an ADA accessible door as well.
Yeah.
It's not-
There's no, we should look at it. Fine.
I brought that up when they were first going over the contract. Hey, maybe think about this, put all this money into it, I just don't know, maybe it's.
So I don't know if that's on street department forms up and does, or we have to get it to first.
We can.
We can find that in our budget. Uh, And the other thing, I noticed on Main Street, the sign was down. The condemnation of that property has a sign in the back up.
I asked Dylan to do it today, but I must say I've been out to the site to see.
Okay, I wondered if he took the sign down himself, what the situation might be.
What was it?
It is a property, condemnation sign there, and
Oh, really?
it was taken down.
It was there today at noon when I came back in.
Okay, it was standing there.
So
Okay.
no, I did ask him to do it.
I couldn't figure out why we took it down, if we did take it down, or if the homeowner took it down.
We would,
And then the other thing is, have we decided we are or not going to close the limb pile for sure?
I've already closed that. Troy's already requested it to be closed.
Okay.
So we're working on the work.
And we'd like the public to know why, because we started getting trash, concrete debris and different things dumped in the limb pile. That we had trouble last year with trash, there again, we had it this year again. If people would just be polite, the limb pile would be there for everybody's benefit, but there's always some one or two people that's got to abuse the privilege. So sorry it's been closed down, but I think the public needs to know why it's happened. Would you please put that?
You said it.
I said it, okay. Yeah, I mean, I hate to close it down. It is so convenient. But I went down there just the other day, there's a big pile of dirt and concrete chunks and everything else laying in there. And I'm thinking, holy moly.
Mr. Griffin, permission to speak. We could, if, is that something you want us to look into?
Having a limb pile.
Yeah, and then if we do have, we need to put some game cameras or cameras up.
Oh,
And
right.
then signs that says like, I don't know what the maximum fine would be, but make it the maximum, whatever it is.
I think it would be convenient to have.
It's so convenient. People clean up the town so much better with it, because on Saturdays and Sundays are off
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
The only thing is staffing and we're gonna have to be, we'd have to find a budget for it.
Yeah, basically what it pertains to is pushing it up with the dozer and lighting it on fire.
You mean,
Never management, so it'd be for,
you mean having somebody out there all the time?
yeah, that's my understanding.
We would have to do that.
Cause I mean, can I, never doesn't manned, I mean, it's just, there's a gate.
I talked to him.
Yeah,
I think it would be-
in fact, I've got one game camera I could donate to the fact, put it up. Because any motion is gonna take a picture of what's there.
Cause if you work a full-time job, you can't get to the dump at the even, I mean, maybe Thursday, they might be open until 7. But on the weekends even, they're closed at 1, so if you have limbs to pick up, then you're, you know.
Plus, the fact, it looked like a freeway, Main Street going out there right after the storm. You had to pull over, and let people get by.
It did.
Yeah, I think people really liked it. So,
I wondered why it closed down so quick, and I didn't know it was trash. That's why I just,
No, they,
I was wondering that too.
well, we only opened it up for the emergency.
Yeah.
Attention, at least that was our original mindset.
but see, the emergency should just about, you think would be open.
Yes,
So,
that's kind of what we.
and then if we close it now, then it'd be available for the next emergency, but I guess what I'm saying is, when we have emergencies, it's nice to have it. And have people be polite, and courteous how they use it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's what I'm want to say.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. That's all. Surprise.
Very impressive. Yeah, I'm a broken record. My only thing is to remind you to bag your trash. And it's not just that I'm sick of people's trash in my yard, it's in my yard. So, right, but also the trash is not gonna pick, like, Select is not gonna pick up your loose trash. So bag it, put it in a container, be respectful of those guys, especially in this heat, are working really hard to pick up our waste, so I'm gonna get easy for them.
And do we need an executive session?
We got hands still. And any comments from you?
No, just a thank you to Dustin for following up with Mark Gardner over the storm incident. You know, the branch came down on his vehicle, and it was just appreciate him following up. Whenever something happens with your neighbors or your family, it's just hard. You want to be objective, but it's just hard to be. So I appreciate him jumping in there and doing a good job with that. And I think that's it. We'll just go into executive session.
Yes.
We've got a couple executive sessions on the agenda, so any motion for the first one? Non-elected personnel
I make
matters.
a motion to go into executive session for non-elected personnel till 6:15.
To include who do you want in executive session?
All the council and attorney,
And mayor.
and then,
I'll second.
Did you include Dustin?
yeah,
Dawn has made a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss matters of non-elected personnel, personal performance, to come out at 6:15. Darcy seconded it. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. All right, just a reminder that if you'd like to stick around.
Folks, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
Right, Darcy made a motion to adjourn, Tyler seconded it. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, same sign. All right. Meeting adjourned. All right.